Virgo, I need you to feel the weight of this moment. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. I need you to stop mid-step, mid-thought, mid-breath, and listen to the frequency that is currently vibrating through your chest, because it is not your anxiety. It is not your usual over-analysis. It is not the hum of your responsibilities or the static of your to-do list. It is a signal, a clear, unwavering, pulse-like signal that has been broadcasting from another heart directly into yours. And the message is so potent, so undiluted, so absolutely terrifying in its purity that you have been trying to tune it out for weeks, maybe months. But you cannot tune it out anymore because the source of that signal is done waiting. They are done hiding. They are done respecting a boundary that you never actually built, but that society constructed around you like a fence made of numbers, calendar numbers, birth years, ages, digits on pieces of plastic and paper that the world has convinced you means something about who is allowed to love whom and how deeply and for how long. And Virgo, I am here to dismantle that fence, board by board, nail by nail, because what I am seeing in your energy field right now is not a crush. It is not a phase. It is not some younger person looking at you with temporary fascination, some fleeting infatuation that will evaporate when they realize what time actually costs. No. What I am seeing is a declaration of permanent war against every single person who has ever told you that this kind of love is impossible. A younger person has fallen in love with you, not playfully, not experimentally, not with one foot out the door and the other tapping a nervous rhythm of uncertainty. They have fallen in love with you completely, terminally, eternally. And the age gap that keeps you awake at night, that makes you calculate expiration dates in your head like a mortician with a calculator, that age gap means less than nothing to them. It is dust. It is static. It is the white noise they do not even bother to filter out because their frequency is locked so precisely onto yours that no interference can break the signal. They want you forever. And forever, Virgo, is not a word they use lightly. Forever is the only word big enough to hold what they feel. I want you to picture them right now because I can see them with a clarity that makes my own heart race. They are not a child. I need you to banish that word from your mind immediately. When you think younger, your mind rushes to images of irresponsibility, of immaturity, of someone who has not yet been bruised by life enough to know what forever actually costs. But this person is old in the ways that matter. Their soul has mileage that contradicts their birth certificate. They have lived lifetimes in the years they have walked this earth, and the result is a depth that disorients people their own age. They have tried to connect with peers and found the water too shallow. They have had conversations that felt like shouting across a canyon only to realize the person on the other side was not even trying to hear them. They have dated people who matched their demographic but not their frequency, and every time they walked away feeling lonelier than when they started, and then they found you, or rather, they recognized you, because finding implies searching, and searching implies doubt, and this person never doubted what they felt when they first entered your orbit. They knew. The way a compass knows north, the way a seed knows soil, the way a song knows its melody before the first note is ever played. They knew that you were the destination, not a stop along the way, not a scenic overlook where they would pause to take a photograph before moving on. You were the end of the road. You were the place the journey had been leading them all along. And the age difference, the years that separate your bodies, those years did not register as distance to them. They registered as texture, as richness, as the very thing that made you taste like home instead of like a passing snack. But I know what you are doing right now. I know your hands are already forming the objections. I know your Virgo mind has opened its ledger and is calculating the risks with a red pen. You are thinking about the future. You are thinking about when you are older and they are still relatively young. You are thinking about the judgments that will come from people who have nothing better to do than measure love with a ruler. You are thinking about the energy difference, the cultural references you will not share, the possibility that they will wake up one day and realize they want someone who matches their pace, their timeline, their biological clock. You are thinking that you are doing them a favor by holding back, by being sensible, by protecting them from a mistake they do not know they are making. And Virgo, I need you to hear me with every cell of your being when I say this. That protection is not love. That protection is fear wearing a responsible costume. That protection is you projecting your own insecurities onto their heart and calling it wisdom. They do not need your protection from loving you. They need your courage to love them back. They have already done the math. They have already looked at the calendar, at the years, at the potential obstacles, at the raised eyebrows and the whispered criticisms, and they have decided that you are worth all of it, every single second of it. They have decided that a life with you, even if it is shorter than some theoretical ideal, is infinitely more valuable than a life with someone their own age that stretches on forever in beige mediocrity. They have decided that your mind, your heart, your soul, the way you move through the world with your particular brand of careful, devastating, thorough grace is worth more than any convention. And the fact that you are still hesitating, still calculating, still trying to be the adult in the room who knows better is not saving them from pain. It is causing them pain right now. It is breaking their hearts slowly, day by day, while you hide behind the number of your age and call it maturity. Let me tell you what they see when they look at you, because I think if you understood their vision, you would stop seeing yourself through the smudged lens of your own doubt. When they look at you, they do not see an age. They see a constellation. They see a configuration of qualities so rare, so precisely aligned, so impossibly beautiful in their specific arrangement that they feel like an astronomer who has just discovered a new galaxy. They see the way your mind works, how you notice what everyone else misses, how you care for details that the world tramples over, how you hold space for truth in a room full of comfortable lies. They see the way your hands move when you are concentrating, the way your eyes soften when you are listening to someone you love, the way your voice steadies when you are giving advice that you know will hurt to hear but needs to be said anyway. They see the decades you have lived not as a wall between you, but as a library you have built. Every year is a volume. Every experience is a chapter. Every scar is an annotation that makes the text more precious. They do not want to read the cliff notes. They want the whole collection. They want to sit in the stacks of your life and breathe in the dust of every page. They want to understand the references that only make sense when you have lived enough to earn them. They are not intimidated by your history. They are intoxicated by it. They are not diminished by your wisdom. They are elevated by it. They do not feel small next to your experience. They feel expanded, challenged, called forward into a version of themselves that only you can see and draw out. You make them want to grow up faster, not because you demand it, but because being near you shows them what adulthood actually looks like when it is done with integrity. You make them want to read more, learn more, feel more, be more, because your presence sets a standard that mediocrity cannot survive in, and that is why the age gap is irrelevant to them. Not because they are naive about it, but because they have weighted against the alternative. And the alternative is unthinkable. A life without you, a bed without you in it, a future where your name is not spoken daily, a world where they have to pretend that what they feel was just a phase. That is the real nightmare for them, not the judgment of strangers, not the logistical complications. The real terror is losing you, and that terror has made them brave in ways that people twice their age have never been. I want you to understand the mechanism of their devotion, because it is not the shallow hormonal attachment that the world tries to sell you when it talks about younger lovers. This is not about novelty. This is not about rebellion. This is not about them wanting a teacher or a parent figure or a caretaker. They do not want you to raise them. They want to rise beside you. They have studied your independence, your self sufficiency, your ability to handle your own life with a competence that borders on the supernatural, and they have fallen in love with that strength. They do not want to lean on you. They want to stand next to you. They want to be the person who makes your load lighter, not because you need them to, but because they want to prove that they can. They want to be the one who brings you coffee exactly how you like it without being asked. They want to be the one who learns your routines until they can anticipate your needs before you voice them. They want to be the one who surprises you, not with grand, empty gestures, but with the kind of consistency that builds empires. They are watching how you love Virgo. They are studying your love like a sacred text, and they are determined to love you back in a way that finally matches the intensity you have always given others but rarely received. They are young in years, yes, but their heart is old enough to know that love is service, love is attention, love is the daily choice to show up and be present and make the other person's life measurably better simply by being in it. And they have chosen you as the sole recipient of that service for the rest of their life. And here is what is going to happen next, because I can see it unfolding in your timeline with the inevitability of gravity. They are going to make a move, a real one, not a text that could be misinterpreted, not a flirtatious comment that could be laughed off as a joke, not a lingering glance that leaves you wondering. They are going to cross the distance between you with an intention so clear, so undeniable, so physically present that you will feel the air pressure change when they step into your space. Maybe it is a conversation they initiate in a place where you cannot run away. Maybe it is a letter that they have rewritten 17 times until every word carried the exact weight of their heart. Maybe it is them showing up at your door with nothing but their truth and the trembling courage it took to transport it across the threshold. But whatever the vehicle, the payload is the same. They are going to tell you that they do not care about the age gap. They are going to tell you that they have tried to care, that they have examined it from every angle, that they have listened to the voices of caution and convention, and every single one of those voices sounds like static compared to the symphony of being near you. They are going to tell you that they want to build something with you, something solid, something that lasts, something that does not have an expiration date stamped on it by people who are not living inside the relationship. They are going to ask you to stop looking at the calendar and start looking at them, right at them, into the eyes of someone who has never been more certain of anything in their entire existence. And when they do this, Virgo, when they lay their heart on the table between you like a map of territories they are willing to surrender just to be allowed into your kingdom, you are going to feel something crack inside you. It is going to be the sound of your last defense breaking. It is going to be the sound of fear losing its grip. It is going to be the sound of a future rewriting itself in real time. But I need to prepare you for the aftermath of that moment, because accepting this love is not the end of the battle. It is the beginning of a different one. The world is going to come for you, not with pitchforks, but with questions, with concern, with well-meaning interventions that are designed to plant doubt in the fertile soil of your mind. People are going to look at the two of you and they are going to see what they want to see. They are going to see a younger person who does not know what they want yet. They are going to see an older person who should know better. They are going to see a power imbalance where there is only a power alignment. They are going to see a phase, a rebellion, a midlife crisis, a daddy issue, a mommy issue, a fantasy that will burn out when reality sets in. And they are going to say these things to your face with the confidence of people who think they understand love because they have watched it on television. And Virgo, you are going to have to become a warrior. Not a warrior who fights with swords and screams, but a warrior who fights with silence, with presence, with the unshakable knowledge that what you have is realer than their opinions. You are going to have to learn to hear their doubts and let them pass through you like wind through a screen door. You are going to have to learn to smile at their predictions of your doom without internalizing them. You are going to have to become so certain of what you feel that other people's uncertainty becomes irrelevant background noise. And the only way to do that is to stop looking at the age gap yourself, to stop calculating it, to stop using it as a weapon against your own happiness. When you are with this person, you are not a number and they are not a number. You are two souls who found each other across the artificial boundaries of time, and that finding is a miracle that deserves protection, not prosecution. I want you to imagine the life that is waiting for you if you say yes. Not a fantasy, not a filtered social media highlight reel, a real life. A Tuesday morning where they bring you tea in bed and you do not have to explain how you like it because they have memorized the ritual. A Wednesday evening where you are both exhausted from your respective days, but the conversation still flows like a river that never runs dry because the connection is not based on shared activities, but on shared frequency. A Saturday afternoon where they are teaching you something about the world they grew up in, some piece of technology or culture that you did not absorb in real time, and instead of feeling old, you feel curious. You feel alive. You feel like a student again, and the classroom is their arms. A Sunday where you are teaching them something that only experience can teach, some hard-won wisdom about forgiveness or patience or the long game of life. and they are listening with an attention so total that you feel your own value deepen just by speaking. A fight, because there will be fights where they do not run away because they are too young to handle conflict, but where they stay and listen and grow because they have chosen you and they know that growth is the price of admission. A reconciliation where the makeup is not just physical but spiritual, where you both emerge from the fire of disagreement more bonded, more understanding, more committed than before. A future where the age gap becomes invisible not because you ignore it, but because it is drowned out by the volume of everything else you share. The laughter, the projects, the quiet, the plans, the inside jokes that take years to build and that no one else will ever understand, the way their hand finds yours in the dark without either of you thinking about it, the way your name sounds when they say it after 10 years, still with the same reverence, still with the same disbelief that they get to say it at all. This younger person is going to aid you backward and forward at the same time. They are going to remind you of the joy you forgot you were allowed to have, the spontaneity you sacrificed on the altar of responsibility, the playfulness that got buried under layers of practicality. And they are going to grow you forward into a future where you are not afraid of time anymore, where every birthday is not a countdown to loss, but a celebration of accumulation, where every gray hair is not a sign of divergence from them, but a badge of the wisdom they fell in love with. They are going to look at you when you are 70 and see the same person they fell in love with when you were however old you are now, because their love is not attached to your packaging, it is attached to your essence. And essence does not age, essence does not wrinkle, essence does not fade. Essence only deepens, like a wine that gets richer with every year it spends in the cellar of experience. And they know this. They have always known this. That is why they are not afraid of your future. They are not afraid of the hospital visits, the slower walks, the reading glasses, the moments where the body reminds you of time's passage. They are afraid of only one thing, a life that does not include you, and that fear has made them immortal in their devotion. So here is what you do. Here is how you step into this without letting your own mind destroy it before it begins. First, you stop apologizing for being older. You stop making jokes about it. You stop pointing it out before other people can. You stop using it as a shield to keep them at arm's length. Your age is not a flaw. It is a feature. It is part of what makes you desirable to this person. Second, you stop waiting for them to change their mind. They are not going to wake up one day and realize they made a mistake. They are going to wake up every day and thank whatever forces guided them to you. Their certainty is not a phase. It is a foundation. Treat it like one. Third, you meet them where they are without lowering yourself. You do not have to pretend to be younger. You do not have to adopt their slang or their music or their habits if they do not resonate with you. You be exactly who you are and you let them rise to meet you. That is the dynamic that works. That is the dynamic that lasts. You are the standard. You are the destination. You are the home base. And they are the energy, the fire, the forward momentum that keeps the house warm. Fourth, you love them back, fully, without holding back 10% just in case, without keeping a secret exit strategy, without monitoring the relationship for signs of their immaturity. You love them with the same totality they are offering you. You let yourself be seen. You let yourself be held. you let yourself be chosen. And you stop calling it impossible just because the world has not caught up to your reality yet. The age gap is not a gap, it is a bridge, and they have already crossed it. They are standing on your side of the river, soaking wet from the swim, shivering maybe, but grinning with a triumph that says they would do it again 1,000 times. They are holding out their hand. They are asking you to build the rest of the bridge together, plank by plank, day by day, forever by forever. And all you have to do is take their hand, not because they need saving, not because you need saving, but because two people who have found each other across the lies of time and convention have a moral obligation to see what they can build together. Because the world needs more love that does not fit the mold. Because you need to know what it feels like to be wanted completely, exactly as you are, with every year you have lived counted as a blessing rather than a liability. Because they need to know that their certainty is not foolishness, that their heart is not naive, that the love they feel is real and valid and worth every battle they will have to fight to protect it. Virgo, this younger person does not care about the age gap. They have never cared. They have only cared about you. And the forever they are offering you is not a child's promise, easily made and easily broken. It is a vow forged in the recognition of something eternal. They want you. They want your mornings and your nights. They want your wisdom and your wounds. They want your present and your future. They want to be the one who proves to you that love is not a demographic, it is a destiny. And your destiny is standing right in front of you, looking at you with eyes that see through every number, every year, every fear, straight into the core of who you are. Let them see you. Let them have you. Let them love you for exactly as long as forever lasts. Because forever starts the moment you stop saying no to the yes your heart has already whispered. If you felt the truth of this message burning through every excuse you have ever made, if you know exactly who this younger person is, if you are ready to stop letting a number on a calendar steal your miracle, I want you to claim this love right now. Drop a comment below and write, "Forever starts now." Let the universe record your surrender to joy. Let your own soul hear you say yes to the one who has already chosen you across every divide. And if this reading found you at the exact moment you needed permission to love without limits, subscribe for more messages that see past the surface and speak directly to what your soul already knows. They want you forever. And Virgo, forever is exactly what you deserve.